This is MC Tone from the 757 Spin Number the True. Back to y'all with another video, and you know what time it is. It's time for the NFL team breakdown, and today it's the Detroit Lions, man. Detroit Lions, man, another disappointing season. Y'all lost Matthew Stafford to a back injury. He was done for the rest of the season. It was just a hard year for y'all. Another hard season. Y'all haven't made the playoffs since 2017. Right now, I think this is a pivotal year for the Detroit Lions. I would say a very pivotal year, you know. If y'all don't make the playoffs this year, is it going to be time to move on from Matthew Stafford? Is it time to blow things up, seeing what the head where this team and the franchise is headed, you know? I know this is Matt Patricia is definitely on the hot seat. Changes are going to come after the season if it's another disappointing season in the Detroit organization. Let me just start off with the video. You know, the head coach is Matt Patricia, offensive coordinator Darrell Bevell. I think he did a decent job, especially when Matthew Stafford was hurt. Did a great job with the young quarterback. The draft picks, Jeffrey Okudah, man, I think he was the best cornerback in the draft. Out of Ohio State. Long, physical, toughness. He's struggling. I heard he's struggling in the camp, but when you go against Kenny Galladay and Marvin Jones Jr., I would expect nothing less. They're very good, talented wide receivers, and I think it's important that he gets those reps, especially when he's going against somebody like a Devontae Freeman, Adam Thielen, Chicago's Allen Robinson. So he's definitely going to need those reps. Second pick, running back DeAndre Swift, I think was a key pickup for them. The Detroit Lions haven't had a 1,000-yard receiver since Reggie Bush, and that was in 2013. So I think that was very important that they get back to that and start having a balanced offense and not just having Matthew Stafford do all that work and trying to carry that offense. I think you're asking your quarterback to do too much, especially knowing that Matthew Stafford, to me, he's good, but he's not as talented to me as a Patrick Mahomes or an Aaron Rodgers in that division. So giving him some help at the running back position is definitely important. And DeAndre Swift, to me, he's a 3-down back, man. He could run, he can help in the pass game. I think he brings a lot of things into this offense, brings different elements. You got Julian Okoro out of Notre Dame. I think he was a good, solid edge rusher. You got Logan Stenberg out of Kentucky. You got wide receiver Quintez Cephas out of Wisconsin, another great pickup. You got Jason Hutley out of New Mexico, another running back to help with the run game. A defensive tackle John Panisny, another help with the defensive rotation and defensive line. And in the 7th round, you got Jashon Connelly. Some key free agent signings. Desmond Trufant at the cornerback position. Y'all lost Darius Slay, man. I wouldn't blame y'all for that. I don't think Darius Slay was worth the money that he was trying to get to me, you know. Desmond Trufant, he's proven he's been very consistent. He was with a forearm and ankle injury. He was down with the Atlanta Falcons, only played 9 games, but I think for the reasonable contract, Desmond Trufant can definitely be a reasonable cornerback, especially with a young cornerback like Jeff Okudah, who's going to come in. And cornerback sometimes is the hardest position to translate into the NFL, especially the amount of talent that the wide receivers have in this year, and the way we have the wide receiver position is now, where it's not as physical, where the cornerbacks cannot be as physical. It is, and it's offensive orientated. You got Jaron Kearse and special teams, helps with the depth at safety. Chase Daniel, quarterback. Like I said, Matthew Stafford is coming back from back surgery. From a back injury. And he's been looking sharp in camp. And it's definitely a good thing to see him back. And, hey, they're going as far as he can take them. You got Nick Williams in the defensive tackles. Detroit Lions were getting gashed in the run game. Jarrad Davis at the linebacker position. I think they need to really step that up. Jamie Collins, he's reunited with Matt Patricia when he coached him in New England. I think that was another decent pickup. I think he's been solid throughout his career, and his consistency. He's 30, 31, but that's okay. I think Jamie Collins is definitely still can be consistent and give you some good years and solid play. You got Vayata. I know his name is a little longer than that, but I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. He came out of the Eagles. They gave him a 5-year, $50 million contract. He hasn't played a full healthy season to me. That I worry about that. Can he stay healthy throughout this year? The most games he's ever played is 10, and that's troubling. But hey, man, the Lions need help. I think at the offensive line, I think the center position at Ragano is definitely solid. I think he brings consistency in the offensive line. And then you got Miles Kilbrew at safety. And I think that helps a lot. And you got Reggie Ragland, man. I think at the linebacker position, like I said, linebacker position was definitely a position of need. You got Jerome Allison, another wide receiver depth. So the offense wasn't terrible, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't good neither. Offensive plays, I ranked 12th. Time of possession, 29th. Points, 18th. Yards, 17th. Passing yards, 10. Passing touchdowns, 10th. Rushing touchdowns, 21st. Rushing touchdowns, 29th. Red zone touchdowns, 22. And overall touchdowns, 18th. Not bad, especially that Matthew Stafford missed like a big chunk of the regular season. You know, the offense, to me, one thing I would say is, if this offense doesn't click and Matthew Stafford doesn't make the playoffs, I think it's time to move on. You know what I mean? Think about Baltimore. The Baltimore Ravens had Joe Flacco, who was a Super Bowl MVP. They moved on from him with Lamar Jackson. You got two quarterbacks to me who are prime time in next year's draft. You got Justin Fields and you got Trevor Lawrence. If y'all have the number one and 2 pick, do y'all not pick none of those? You still going with Matthew Stafford? I don't think so, man. I think this franchise definitely needs juice if y'all don't meet expectations. Defense, y'all rank 26, yards 31st, passing yards 32, passing touchdowns 27th, rushing yards 21, rushing TDs 14, red zone touchdowns 24, overall touchdowns 26, time of possession 24. That's terrible, especially for a defensive coach like Matt Patricia. I know he hasn't had a lot of defensive talent to me, but still it's terrible, especially when you're coaching defense and you're a defensive head coach. And I'm just wondering where this organization is going to. And like I said, I think this organization is just dysfunctional. I think they really need to blow it up after the season. I got them finishing worst 4th, best 3rd. When you got Mike Zimmer with the Minnesota Vikings, you still got Kirk Cousins, you still got a monster defense and on the Vikings. And you still got Aaron Rodgers, the best quarterback in the division. So I don't see anytime soon that they're gonna really beat those two teams. I think they can beat Chicago for 3rd, but definitely I don't see anything further. Some key players, Matthew Stafford, to me, like I said, if he doesn't perform, because he's never won a division title, that's my problem with Matthew Stafford. No division titles. He's had Megatron. He's had a Reggie Bush. You know what I mean? In those years, they did make the playoffs. But, you know what I mean? He's never won a playoff game neither. So it's very frustrating if I was a Detroit Lions fan, knowing that my quarterback, who I drafted number 1, can at least not overcome some of those things to not even win a division title, but not even win a playoff game. We look at people like Andrew Luck, drafted number 1, had a terrible offensive line. Terrible. It was okay with the coaching. Defense wasn't as good, but he still overcame that and still won a playoff game and and still won a division title. So I just question that, man. I still question what this team is gonna do. You know, Detroit Lions, like I said, they need juice. This organization needs juice. I thought they should have drafted Tua to give that juice, you know, or at least draft a quarterback that would at least add a little, you know what I mean, some optimistic, to be a little optimistic about their play and their future. But hey, they're giving it another chance with Matthew Stafford. Like I said, I heard he's been sharp at camp with TJ Hawkinson, who's coming back after a little disappointing rookie season, even though he was injured, coming in better shape, looks a little bit more explosive. Like I said, I like Kenny Galladay. He's definitely an underrated wide receiver with a Marvin Jones Jr. You still got Danny Amendola. You still got Frank Ragnow at the center position. Yeah, I picked up Danny Shelton, and I thought that was a great pickup with y'all. But like I said, man, this organization, I definitely think they need to be approved, man. It's just tiring to me if I was a Detroit Lions fan, and frustrating, very very frustrating. And I think they need to get better. Not all that is on Matthew Stafford. I'm not blaming all that on Matthew Stafford. I do blame that on sometimes on the coaching and the general manager, but also I do want to see Matthew Stafford, overcome that. I mean, look at Aaron Rodgers. He got tired of Mike McCarthy in the same old system. He never had a great defense. You're not always going to have things perfect in the NFL. You're always going to have some part of the team that's not going to be as good as the others. But you're going to have to overcome that, especially when you're number one pick. So just let me know your thoughts and your comments. Do you think I'm wrong about Matthew Stafford? I know y'all Detroit fans. I know y'all love y'all guy, but no division titles, no playoff wins. He's gotten paid a huge contract. I'm not hating on him, but I would just like to see better from him and see him overcome that. So and one thing about it, back injuries don't get any better from now. Ask Tony Romo. So share your thoughts, your comments, like, subscribe if you like the video, share your opinions, your thoughts. Tone out.